I don't know who needs to hear this, but lesson planning is made way more complicated than it needs to be, and it takes way longer than it needs to be. Hi, my name is Elena, a coach for new and first year teachers, and welcome to the 30-day Make Teaching Easy Challenge, where over the course of 30 days, I show you how to work smarter, not harder. So I still remember that first year where I would often lesson plan the day before the next school day or sometimes the morning of, and I would prep my materials the day before or the morning of, which is fine, but oftentimes I would feel frazzled and frantic, and I would just start off my morning just in this anxious energy, which then would lead to my students picking up on that, and they would be anxious too. So while none of that's bad, it's just not how I choose to teach anymore, and here's what I choose to do instead. So the first thing is I use a template. So using a weekly or daily template makes planning that much quicker, especially if you've already made enough copies for every week and you can just go in, plug in, and just click and start planning right away. Or especially if you can link those lesson plans to like a calendar, so you can just click in on it. It makes it that much more easier. So first thing I do to save time is I use a template. That way it's the same thing every time and I don't have to recreate anything. The second thing is batch planning. So like I mentioned earlier, I would plan the day of or the day before, and while that was fine, it was really stressful. Now I choose to plan all at once, which means on Mondays when I come in, I'm planning for the next week. And then the following Monday, I'm coming in and I'm planning for the next week. And what I found was what I would do is instead of having to spend like a ton of time planning, the more that I did it this way, the quicker and more efficient I became at it, and I was able to plan more days out in less amount of time. So picking one day a week to do this, typically that was Mondays for me, and planning as far out as I could at once saved me a ton of time. And the third thing is not starting from scratch. Now, I'm not saying I would completely use the same lesson plans from last year, but once I was in my second year, I would look at my lesson plans from last year, maybe copy it and then tweak them and change them to fit the needs that my students are at and where they are at now and the gaps of learning that they have now. Have you tried any of these planning strategies? Let us know in the comments. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to comment prep and I will send you my free prep guide. It's got my top 10 strategies to working smarter, not harder. Also, make sure to follow for part 15 because tomorrow we're going to be uncovering the secret to making grading easier.